Hello ladies and gentlemen, Michael aka Victor here. I'm going to do a couple of these videos. First of all, I want to thank those that like the channel, that are following on Instagram or liking the page on Facebook. Appreciate that. We're going to continue to ramp this up. We're going to continue to build momentum because this is the time, right? This is the timeline shift. So what's going on right now is we're in a whole lot of flux. The world is going to change. There's going to be an after Corona world. There's going to be a memory of the before Corona world. So it's going to be a new world. We're going to come into a new reality. Now, it's up to us how we create that reality. So don't just sit and let it be done for us, or else it's going to be done with the same players and the same thing that brought us to this point. So we need to make a change. We need to take more control, take more responsibility. Now, let's step back. This is where we're going. Part of what's in this new reality on this standpoint is better self-knowledge, self-realization. And this is where this comes in. The realization that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. All of this is happening as spiritual beings having a human experience. So I did this video about souls where it looks at the percentage of the soul ages on the planet. In other words, meaning how much experience these souls have on the planet. We're not going to go into detail there, but it just talks about the concept of a soul. When you look at the definition of it, it is the spiritual or immaterial, immortal part of a person. So a lot of people realize they have a soul, accept the fact that they have a soul, or believe that they have a soul, but then their belief system tends to feel that that soul needs something other than itself to fulfill itself in some other way. So you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So I just made this little guy right here. We call him you man. You know, he's just or she, it can be whatever. But yeah, I put the little coronavirus thing on him. But you man, you know, different colors of man. You know, we're all part of the same humanity. But you, Y.O.U, your own universe, right? That's what you are. You are a universe of cells that make up your body, and you are part of the universe as well, a universe of neurons that makes up your brain. So that's part of the holographic nature of it, as far as the universe as well. How you look at you're a being made of smaller entities, right? Your body is made of smaller cells, just like our being, the I am, is made of smaller cells as well, which is us. We're all part of that I am. So the reason why it's important to have this as your foundation, a soul spirit foundation, and this has nothing to do with any religion or anything like that. This is just who you are, your conscious, your soul, from your soul standpoint. And I know some material reductionists will not believe that they have a soul, but I think a lot of them look at it from a belief standpoint, and they're looking at it from a religious standpoint, just look at it from a consciousness standpoint, if you will. You're a conscious being, so what is that consciousness, right? But anyway, this is the reality that we're in, right? I use this to kind of illustrate this matrix that is made of sound. So light and sound is how we're reacting with this. You're experiencing this matrix with this thing right here, a persona or ego. It's your character, it's your player, if you will. Right? And it has a name, belief system, culture, history, and self-image. And these are all of the things that we're going to rearrange and upgrade all of this stuff so we look at ourselves and each other differently. So when we do have this foundation, when we do land in this alternate reality, it's in a better place. For us all, we're interacting with each other better, and we're doing things in a more harmonious way for each other and for nature. And that's the plan. And it starts off with the knowledge. And I'll give you this quick little story and then I'm done. You know, you talk about the three little pigs, one that built this house out of straw, one out of sticks, and then one out of bricks. But regardless of what your house is built of, what's important is what it's built on, that foundation. So if you don't have a foundation of knowing who you are and knowing your own strength and your own divinity, then it's going to affect your self-image. And that's going to affect your thoughts, which are going to affect your actions. It's going to affect your belief system, your belief in yourself, your belief in what you can do and what you can be and all that stuff. So all of this is your foundation, which makes up your persona, your character, which makes up your actions. But even this thing, persona, character, ego, this is not you. Just like an artificial intelligence, like that's so convincing, it convinced you that that is you. You know, no, you are this, experiencing that. And the thing is, when you look at other people, they're also experiencing that. So this type of foundation, and you notice I didn't mention anything, and there's plenty of detail that we can go into this. I spent years studying this, and it's not just my work, it's a culmination of of a lot of different work that goes back millennia. You know, this has been talked about for ages. But just to put it in a modern context and keep it high level, though we can get into the weeds if you want to. And we will in some videos later on, but I'm trying to keep these short. But this is the foundation that we're building, and this is this alternate reality right here. And this is this new timeline. And we're going to allow people to make this jump ship from where they could have been, where they could have went, to where they want to go by just rearranging themselves, reprogramming themselves, you know, looking at it from a higher perspective, a higher self, you know. The reason why we don't always remember this and why it's tough to kind of remember, because we go through what we call the veil, and it's just a forgetting. So we have to remember, and that's why, you know, some of the ancient Egyptian texts talk about knowing thyself. This is really what it's about. So this is all the start. It all boils down to you, your own universe, and you can tell you're part creator because two of you get together and create a new you, a new universe that's able to do amazing things and has the same consciousness, has the same soul and spirit as you, you know. So when you back all of that up, you go back to that one source, that one creative source that we all come from. We're all part of that source of consciousness. So that's the perspective I am. So imagine that someone's talking and filming from this perspective inside of this matrix. And this matrix is just linked with the world that we live in now, linked with hyper world in time. But we're all this, and this is the realization that we want to have. And that's going to project something totally different in this matrix, and that's the timeline that we're going to create. So I hope that makes sense. And we're going to have a Q&A probably this weekend, but I want to talk about some other things. But I just wanted to kind of get that in public. Peace.